Everyone in the grandstand areas, please rise at this time and join us as we begin each and every Friday with an invocation from the New Stanton United Methodist Church and the singing of our national anthem.
Could we bow our heads, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. Every day that you make, Lord, is special, and you have created it. Lord, we just thank you for the abilities that you've given each one of us. And Lord, we just ask that your blessing be on this race tonight, and we pray for the safety for the drivers and their crew members. And Lord God, we just thank you for this great nation that we live in and the freedoms that we have through you. And Lord, we pray a blessing on those in attendance here tonight. And Lord, as we leave here tonight, we pray for safety on our way home and to our destinations. And Lord, we just ask for a special blessing on this race here this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much. Excellent. One more special round of applause for Felicia Aubrey presenting the national anthem tonight. Thanks as always to the New Stanton United Methodist Church and Randy Benton and the United States Air Force for presenting the colors here tonight at the MOTORDROME Speedway. Starting lineup for tonight's Top Dog Challenge Dash, starting from the pole. In the Lint Flooring, Bent's Motorsports, Megan Ford number 60 from Somerset, Pennsylvania, 2002 MOTORDROME Speedway champion, Gary Wiltrout. Starting outside of row number 1, driving the Dare Advance Auto Parts, Chevrolet Monte Carlo number 51, Mr. Consistency from Clarksburg, West Virginia, John Messenger. Making up row number 2 for the 4-lap dash, inside, it will be car number 22, Brewston Mills, West Virginia's Richard Mitchell, a 2-time former track champion in car 22. Row number 2 contains the 11 of Bobby Henry from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, the 2004 winner of the Napa Auto Parts 100. Then it's 2-time defending champion, Rick Miller, the Dunbar Dominator in car 25. We have 5 cars in tonight's edition of the Top Dog Challenge. Miller, being last week's feature winner in car 25, has to start from the last position. In front of him it's Richard Mitchell in the 22. Then side by side, Bobby Henry and the 51 of John Messenger. Henry, the winner of the Napa 100 last year, driving for a different team. He sees Richard Mitchell to the inside of him. They hit the scoring line to complete lap number 2 of 4 in the Top Dog Challenge. Messenger and Miller side by side. In front of them, the 22 of Mitchell and the 11 of Henry door-to-door. Meanwhile, out front, as the white flag indicates final lap, Gary Wiltrout has buried this field in the Top Dog Challenge. Wiltrout has already won a Top Dog Challenge in 2005, as has every driver participating in this event here tonight. Out of turn number 4 and headed for another win in the Top Dog Challenge, Somerset's Gary Wiltrout in car 60. Richard Mitchell, Rick Miller, John Messenger completing the top 4. 16 of current points leader Ed Deneen, the 5 of Bill Oldham, and the 51 of Kevin Ludwig. 3 wide on the front straight, the American Flyers. Street tires with brake lights that remain in the car. These cars have been modified only for safety to protect the amateur drivers. Fire suits are worn for protection, and roll bars welded into the cars protect the drivers in the event of an accident. And leading lap number 1, it's Matt Gardner. Ed Deneen making a pass to the outside of the 05 of Andy Giles. Deneen, the leading feature winner in the division. He's a 9-time race winner in 2005 in car number 16. He's closing in on the 7 of Gardner for the lead as they enter turn 3. And into turn 4, Deneen hugs the bottom. Last week's winner, Ed Deneen, in car 16, side by side at the scoring line. He will be the leader at lap number 2 over Matt Gardner, making his second start of the season. Behind them, more side-by-side action. The 05 of Andy Giles, the 87 of Richie Miller. A 5-time feature winner this season is Richie Miller. 21 years old in his first season of competition. The 87 of Miller taking away third position from Giles at the scoring line on lap 3 of 5. 2 laps to go. Ed Deneen is pulling away from the field out in front. Then it's the 7 of Matt Gardner in his second start, holding off Richie Miller, the multi-time feature winner this season. Gardner drifting up in turn number 4, opens the inside lane for Miller, then makes contact with the 87. It seemed like car number 7, Matt Gardner, finally caught traction at the end of turn 4, and with the wheels turned to the left to negotiate that corner, he shot right into the door of Miller's 87. Everybody continues on as we work the final lap of the preliminary heat race for the Advanced Auto Parts American Flyer Division. And no surprise, out in front in car 16, Ed Deneen takes the checkered flag. He has now won 10 heat races this season in the Advanced Auto Parts American Flyers. Finishing in 5th, the 22 of Gene Greco. Finishing 4th, the 05 of Andy Giles. Finishing as the green flag waves, 74 is Jason Holder. 4 is Vince Cater, and we have problems already. Tom Knight Sr. in the 76 making contact with the 19 of Scott Bowman. 76 of Tom Knight Sr. driving through the grass back out onto the front straight. We're going to need the caution flag for car number 19 of Scott Bowman. On August the 19th, when all children under 12 are admitted free, Ronald McDonald will be here to meet and greet with the youngsters, and we'll have boxcar races that night. Andrew Kostelnik and Max Schlesinger in row 2. Jason Holder in the 74, second in the point standings. The 4 of Vince Cater and the 76 of Tom Knight Sr. We're green and racing. Heilman by himself in the lead, then 2 by 2 through turn number 1. Into turn number 2, it's Bill Henry in the 64, door-to-door with Kostelnik for second position. Andrew Kostelnik in car 57 has yet to see a checkered flag in his young racing career in 2005. Heilman and Henry have both won heat races so far this year. Kostelnik has been improving greatly in the last few weeks of competition. His brother and mentor, the defending modified champion at the Speedway. Kostelnik gains big time on leader Jonathan Heilman into turn 3. They are door-to-door as Kostelnik made up a 6-7 car length advantage in less than a quarter of a lap. Down to the scoring line to complete lap number 2. Heilman out in front, Kostelnik in second, and Bill Henry playing bumper tag with the 57. Henry in car 64 of Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. Heat race winner this season with Jason Holder behind him, the driver second in point standings coming into tonight. Single file now out of turn number 4. Heilman continues to lead, and Kostelnik, who was challenging for the lead last lap, is in jeopardy of losing second. Henry dirt tracks the car. The back end of the 64 machine sliding up the banking. The third place car loses several car lengths to Kostelnik now. Leader continues to be Jonathan Heilman. Andrew Kostelnik in the 57 is second. Then it's Henry and Jason Holder. Max Schlesinger in the 66 car challenging Holder to the inside and makes contact with the driver second in the points. Schlesinger got into the left rear corner of Jason Holder's 74 car. And halfway through this event, we need the caution flag. Schlesinger's 66 makes contact with the inside wall. Holder spins without further contact in the 74. Tough break for the driver second in point standings coming into tonight. The leader, the 18-year-old Bell Vernon driver Andrew Kostelnik is second. Bill Henry is third. Vince Cater in the 4 car now up to fourth. And contact made in the battle for second again. Bill Henry in the 64 able to reach out and touch the rear bumper of Andrew Kostelnik. He has to back off the throttle. That allows the 4 of Vince Cater to challenge to the outside of Henry. Henry's heat race win earlier this season was a career first for the veteran driver. And Vince Cater in car number 4, another Motordrome veteran, challenges for third position. Henry and Cater door-to-door down the back straight. Leader Heilman pulling away. Kostelnik in second. Battle behind Kostelnik for third. Henry and the 4 of Cater. Cater loses the handle just a bit. He has to back off. And while he lets Henry get away, that allows Max Schlesinger in the 66 and Tom Knight Sr. in 76 to close right in on him with 2 laps remaining. Jonathan Heilman in the 15 out in front. So far this season, Heilman has won 1 preliminary heat race event. He sees the white flag now indicating final lap. He has about 2 or 3 car lengths between himself and second place Andrew Kostelnik. Down the back straightaway and headed for the final 2 corners of this first preliminary heat race for the Subway Street Stocks on Napa night at Motordrome. Heilman drifting up just a bit, may have opened the door for Kostelnik, but no, Jonathan Heilman hangs on to win his second heat race of 2000. Dave Tavermina in the 25 and current points leader Frank Turek in the 5, leading the field to the green flag. Second 8-lap Subway Street Stock heat is Bill Ashton in 35, Sean Phillips in 31. The Napa Auto Parts 422 is driven by Robin Rimmel. Then we move back to see the 88 car driven by Mike Holp, the 77 of Rich Burbage, 78 of Joe Holp, and the 4 of Al Minjock as we're getting set to complete lap number 1. Early leader is Dave Tavermina, who showers the pavement with sparks in turn number 1, drifts up and opens the door for points leader Frank Turek of Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania in car 5. The 2 biggest winners of the season are running 1 and 2 in this heat race. Turek in 2005 has 8 feature wins. Dave Tavermina, the only driver with 2 feature wins, in second spot. In third, it's the 31 machine driven by Sean Phillips of Waynesburg. Phillips has only made 4 starts this season and has not finished out of the top 5 in feature racing. Behind Phillips in car 22, that's the Napa Thunderbird of Robin Rimmel. Ford fans and all of our guests from Napa cheering on car number 22. He's in 4th right now. Sean Phillips in 3rd. Rimmel in car 22, less than a car length away from challenging Phillips for 3rd. And Phillips, meanwhile, has gained on Tavermina. He's door-to-door with Tavermina for the 2nd spot. They play bumper tag into turn number 1, but halfway through this heat with 4 laps down, positions remain the same with Tavermina, the runner-up, Phillips in 31 in 3rd, Rimmel in 4th, Frank Turek, the leader, out in front all by himself. He's got maybe 8 car lengths or more between himself and the battle for 2nd, which has now changed hands. Sean Phillips in car 31 and the 22 of Rimmel and the 35 of Ashton have all moved around the ailing Dave Tavermina in car 25. Coming into tonight, Tavermina 4th in the point standings, Rimmel 3rd in the standings. Rimmel 3rd on the racetrack as well. Tavermina has slipped far back in this field with some type of mechanical trouble. Turek continues to lead. Second spot is now the 31 of Phillips. Third is the 22 of Rimmel. That is the best battle on the racetrack. In turn number 3, Rimmel gets the car a little bit sideways, allows Phillips to gain a car length advantage in holding down the second spot. Frank Turek in car number 5 so far this season has won 8 preliminary heat races. And with the white flag waving down the back straight, he'll be headed into turn number 3 to extend his points lead over Jason Holder. Checkered flag in the air, and for the 9th time this season, Frank Turek wins a heat race, holding off Sean Phillips and Robin Rimmel. Bill Ashton in 4th, Dave Tavermina clings to the 5th position. 04 is driven by Bob Shipp. He's the defending Charger Division champion. Outside of him in the 5, it is Jim Nicola. The 99 of Bo Glemba, recent first-time winner. Then the 6 of Ohio teenager Tom Frank. And bringing up the rear, it's car number 51 of Rich Nicola. 8-lap preliminary heat race underway for the Smale Pontiac GMC Modifieds. George P. Nicola in car 97, multi-time feature winner, as is Adam Kostelnik. Heated battle for the lead as they are wheel-to-wheel out of turn 4 on lap 1. Kostelnik in the Big Leon Racing number 60, the current points leader, takes the position away from Matt Smith as they were ready to bang Nerf bars on these open-wheeled race cars for the lead. The 04 of Bob Shipp is 3rd. Shipp, a modified rookie from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, in a brand new race car. Spin in turn 4. Tom Frank in the 6 car, and the 5 of Jim Nicola. Nicola in car 5. Car number 5 of Nicola, former 2-time champion, as the racing action continues under green. Working lap number 3, Kostelnik out in front, and look at the battle for 2nd. Bob Shipp, first season of modified racing, challenging Matt Smith in car 3 for the runner-up position. Kostelnik out in front as an 8-time preliminary heat race winner, and they're playing bumper tag behind him for 2nd. Smith in car 3, drifting up about a half a lane, now slams the door on the challenging 04 of Bob Shipp. Adam Kostelnik out in front by a large margin on lap 5. Battle for 2nd is Matt Smith in the 3 and the 04 of Bob Shipp. Further back, George P. Nicola in car 97. He's a 2-time feature winner, and the 99 of Bo Glemba, who got his career first win just a few weeks ago. Watching the battle for 2nd with Matt Smith and Bob Shipp, as this time the white flag is waving, final time around the speedway. Smith using a middle lane of the speedway, keeping Bob Shipp at bay, who has the 04 car planted near the grass at the very bottom of the racetrack. This will be the final chance to challenge. Meanwhile, up front, the checkered flag will be waving. Adam Kostelnik in car number 60 with a 9th heat race win of the season. Smith and Shipp 2nd and 3rd, with George P. Nicola and Bo Glemba completing the top 5s. And the 9 is Rick Huffman, and the 7 is Ben Easler. Another 8-lap heat race for the Smale Pontiac GMC Modifieds underway. John Probanich in car 11, the early leader, has been very strong the last couple of weeks. He won his heat race last week and has 2 straight top 5 feature finishes to his credit in recent action here at Motordrome. Watching Al Civic and Jason Bush side by side in turn 4. Just in front of them, it's Harry Opfer in the 01 and the 98.3 of Mike Bacalon. Bacalon takes position away from Harry Opfer. He's into 3rd now. Opfer now holding off Jason Bush in the 42. Up front, the leaders running very close together now. Prabanich out front, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's Chris Dodds in the 47. Dodds has yet to see a checkered flag this season, and he's within a couple of car lengths of the leader as we watch Harry Opfer in the 01, feeling a challenge now from Jason Bush. Bush, many times a feature winner here in the modified division, who's semi-retired for a couple of seasons, is joining us again for his second start of 2005. He gets by Opfer, so does the 32 of Matt Penaya. Battle for second has now developed behind John Prabanich, Mike Bacalon in the 98.3, and Chris Dodds in the 47. Bacalon won the Smale 25, the biggest event of the season for the modifieds. He's a two-time feature winner and has taken the runner-up spot from Dodds. Dodds, who was challenging for the lead in the 47 earlier in this race, has now fallen back to third, and he's Jason Bush reeling him in. Bush in fourth right now as we're halfway through this heat race. A little bit of bumper tag, the 42 of Bush, the 47 of Dodds. Now wheel to wheel in turn 4. Jason Bush takes over the third position. Matt Penaya in car 32 is hanging on to a top 5 position right behind Dodds. Working now lap number 5 of 8. Penaya closes in on the 47 in turn number 4. Dodds using a higher lane on the racetrack than he did when he challenged for the lead earlier and falling back quickly. Penaya now takes over 4th, putting Dodds back to 5th with 6 of 8 laps complete. Cars strung out around the speedway. Leader John Prabanich in car number 11 coming out of turn number 4 now, headed for the scoring line. He sees the white flag. It will be 2 consecutive weeks that he's won his preliminary heat race. Prabanich has not won a feature in 2005 and could be making a statement with his recent top 5 finishes in feature racing. And out of turn number 4, a second consecutive preliminary heat race win for John Prabanich in car 11. The Smale Pontiac GMC Modifieds, Bacalon grabs second over Bush, Penaya, and Dodds, completing the top 5. Brandon Manns of North Huntington, the sophomore driver in car 15. Mike Adams from Elizabeth, PA, drives the 43 car. And starting behind Mike Adams in car number 11, the defending winner of the Napa Auto Parts 100 is Bobby Henry. Early leader is Paul Urso, while 2 first-time Jennerstown starters fight it out for the second position. The 8 of Jason Lasky has faded back to 3rd now. It is the 9 machine, driven by Will Thomas, into 2nd spot. Thomas, a competitor at the Lake Erie Speedway from his home in Sharpsville, makes his first Motordrome appearance tonight in car 9, a Junior Handley-built car, closing in just a bit on Paul Urso in the Froggy 98. Mike Adams is hanging on to 3rd, but here comes Bobby Henry. The battle for 3rd intensifies as they head into turn 3, last year's event winner. The Megan Ford Stone and Company lint flooring number 11 of Bobby Henry, challenging veteran Mike Adams to the inside. Adams, a winning street stock driver here in seasons past, now a 3-year late model racer, but no match tonight for Bobby Henry in this first heat race. Adams will now feel the pressure of the 15 of Brandon Manns. This will be the battle for 4th. Manns, a sophomore driver in car 15, the Manns Home Medical Products Pride Mobility 15 car, door-to-door with Adams for an entire lap down the back straight. Manns, a winning pro truck driver who was a late model rookie last season as a teammate to champion Rick Miller, has his Ford Taurus to the inside, taking away the 4th position. At the scoring line officially, working lap 5 of 10, Manns is 4th, Adams is 5th. Bobby Henry, the defending event winner, in 3rd. Henry closing just a bit on the 9 of Thomas, while the 98.3 of Paul Urso from Glenshaw, Pennsylvania, who's yet to see a checkered flag this season, is out in front. And Urso with a mechanical problem in turn 4. Heavy smoke from the Froggy Monte Carlo. That is a serious engine problem for the Froggy 98 of Paul Urso, who retires while leading. Caution flag will come out so we can inspect the racing surface for fluids. He was headed for perhaps a first heat race victory here on Napa 100 night, and disaster for the Glenshaw, Pennsylvania resident Paul Urso, Rookie of the Year in the Napa Super Late Models last season. pulling into the pit area while leading lap 6. The defending Napa 100 winner in this first heat race, Bobby Henry from Connellsville in car 11. Makes a challenge at the wave of the green flag. We're back underway, and just as quickly, Henry, the 4-time feature winner this season, takes the position away from Will Thomas of Sharpsville. Here comes Brandon Manns in car 15. Manns, so far this season, has 2 heat race wins and a pair of Top Dog Challenge Dash wins. He is officially in the second spot by inches, working lap 8 of 10. Thomas's 9 car to the outside, and Manns to the inside completes the pass by more than a car length now. Into turn number 4, your leader, Bobby Henry, is seeing the white flag now. The defending winner of the Napa Auto Parts 100 starts deep in his 10-lap preliminary heat race and methodically picks his way through the field. The driver of the Lint Flooring, Stone & Company, Megan Ford Taurus, number 11, out of turn number 4 for his 8th heat race win of the season in car number 11. Todd Corson makes his first start of the season in car 17. Steve Black drives the 1. Defending champion and points leader Rick Miller in car 25. And 2002 champion Gary Wiltrout in the Lint Flooring 60 starting scratch in the field. Richard Mitchell out to the early lead over John Messenger and Tony Mussolino. Mussolino in the 12 car hanging on to third. Then it's a side-by-side battle. John Komarinsky and Greg Kelly, 2 drivers who've competed in numerous different divisions here at MOTORDROME Speedway. Komarinsky now hanging on to 4th. Gary Wiltrout now making a move up through the field in car 60. He started last. He's already passed 4 cars. 60 machine to the inside now of the 86 of Kelly. Taking position away in car number 60. This is Wiltrout's first season driving for the Benz Motorsports team as he takes away position from Greg Kelly. That is, in fact, the 5th position. And just in front of him, John Komarinsky and Tony Mussolino battling 3 wide down the front straight. Mussolino, the rookie in car 12, up high. John Komarinsky using the low lane, and Gary Wiltrout looking for either of these drivers to make a mistake down the back straight. Somerset, Pennsylvania's Gary Wiltrout giving a car length advantage to John Komarinsky, who is moving under Mussolino, nearly 3 wide again on the front straight. Working lap number 4 of 10, Komarinsky moves around Mussolino. He is now into 3rd and bringing Wiltrout into 4th. Mussolino is back to 5th, and Wiltrout is door-to-door with Komarinsky. And here comes Rick Miller, the Dunbar Dominator, in car 25, also from the rear of this field. He's got himself between Mussolino and Komarinsky now at the halfway point of this 10-lap heat. Just as quickly, he is challenging the Greensburg veteran, the Rolling Rock 33 of Komarinsky, the Brooks Automotive Group 25 of Rick Miller to the inside. This is the battle for 4th, and Miller takes the spot away, headed for the scoring line. It's now lap 6, all by himself with a big lead, Richard Mitchell in car 22. Mitchell, a 5-time feature winner this season, and he's got more than a half straightaway advantage in the Howard Concrete Pumping 22. Behind him, and now crossing the scoring line into turn 1, it's John Messenger, who's got last place starter Gary Wiltrout close enough to reach out and touch him. Messenger in the 51, Mr. Consistency, 5th in the point standings this season, and 3rd in the standings, Gary Wiltrout, the former champion, takes away the runner-up spot in turn 4. 2 laps remaining at the scoring line. Mitchell still with a big lead over Wiltrout, Messenger, then Rick Miller. Miller currently 4th after starting deep in the field. The current points leader. Miller has won more heat races than anyone else this season. He has 12 heat race wins, but right now he is a distant 4th. He's got John Messenger just in front of him on the final lap in the 51. The 60 is Gary Wiltrout, and all the way at the front of this field, making it look easy, the 2-time former champion Richard Mitchell in car 22 with his first heat race win of the season. Big brown car. Harold Hunt from Hunker, Pennsylvania. Outside of him in car number 9. We have a second car number 9 out there, the former Broadwater machine. The 95 is Jimmy Stokes, a 3-time winner, and they're 3 wide in turn 1 with the points leader Jeff Giles in car 50 to the outside. Gary Ankrum drives car 21. And look at Jeff Giles storming through the field. Jimmy Stokes right behind him. The 50 of Giles, a 9-time feature winner, going 3 wide again on the front straight. Rick Broadwater, the inside in the 9. Giles and Keller, all 3 drivers who were 3 wide on the front straight, are feature winners this year at Motordrome. Stokes now goes 3 wide at turn number 3 with Harold Hunt to his outside. Action happening all over the Speedway in the Yellow Book Charger division. We're now working lap number 2. 13 car driven by Denny Keller out in front. Clifford Abbott in the 51 is feeling the challenge now of Jeff Giles. Giles in car number 50 has 8 preliminary heat race wins. He has taken the runner-up spot away from the 51 of Abbott and has quickly closed on the leader. At the scoring line to begin working lap number 3, Jeff Giles was second by only inches. Giles Monte Carlo moves past the 13. That's Denny Keller's Buick Regal. As they hit the scoring line for lap 4 of 6, Giles, the points leader, now officially out in front. Battle for second is 3 cars strong. Keller in the 13. Rick Broadwater in the 9 car. Broadwater has a heat win and feature win. He takes away the second spot from Keller, and here comes Jimmy Stokes. Stokes, a 4-time heat winner, 3-time feature winner, door-to-door in turn number 4 with the 13 of Keller. At the scoring line, Jimmy Stokes takes over the position with the white flag waving, indicating final lap. Possible battle for second includes the 95 of Stokes and the 9 of Broadwater as they enter turn number 3. Stokes to the outside. We'll turn our attention to the leader. In car number 50 from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, Jeff Giles with his 9th heat race win of the season. Starting on the pole from Star Junction, Pennsylvania in car 51, it's Kevin Ludwig. Outside in the 05, it's Andy Giles. Inside row 2, hometown favorite Roger Bryan in the 12. As the car horns salute you fans for the first feature here on Napa Auto Parts Night. Outside of hometown favorite Roger Bryan driving car number 7, it's Matt Gardner in his 2nd start of the season. The 5 car is driven by Bill Oldham from Connellsville. He starts 5th inside the Napa Auto Parts number 22, driven by Gene Greco from Scottdale. Next row finds rookie Richie Miller, 5-time feature winner, driving car number 87. Outside of him, the points leader Ed Deneen in car 16. Tagging the tail of this field, it's Aaron Minjock in car 34 from Greenock, Pennsylvania. American Flyers feature 8 laps in distance, and there's the green flag. We're underway. 3 wide on the front straight. Oldham was to the inside, and it's Ed Deneen making it 3 wide down the back straight as well. Gene Greco in the 22 car, the Napa machine, slams the door on him. Four wide as they make their way down the front straight. Yeah, they were 4 wide for just a second there in the middle and back of this pack. Racing action fast and furious from the front wheel drive American Flyers. Andy Giles in the 05 is second. Ed Deneen, the points leader, picking his way through the field, passing the Napa 22 of Gene Greco. They'll be 2 wide for the second spot, while leader is the Mopar number 7 of Matt Gardner. His 2nd start of the season. A car that I believe he purchased from Chuck Hall, flying the Dodge colors proudly as Deneen works his way into second and challenges for the lead. 9-time feature winner and current points leader Ed Deneen from Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania in car 16, moving his Cavalier to the outside. It's Chevrolet versus Dodge as they reach the scoring line. Lap number 3 is led by Ed Deneen. Matt Gardner falling back to second with Richie Miller, the rookie, moving his way up to third. Then we see Aaron Minjock in the 34 and the 05 of Andy Giles. Miller nearly using the lowest line on the racetrack, making contact with the 7 of Gardner. Miller in the 87 car, the 21-year-old rookie, who was trading paint with Ed Deneen to the finish line last week, looking to take away the 2nd position from Gardner. They're now door to door down the back straightaway. Behind them, Minjock in the 34 watches the fight for second place. Deneen all by himself, way out in front. We're beginning to work lap number 5, and Miller with only about a half car length advantage into the second spot. Now it's Aaron Minjock making contact with the 7 of Gardner. They're trading paint down the back straight now for third. Richie Miller is into second, and the battle for third is a heated one. Minjock brings the 34 car on around the 7 of Gardner. 2 laps to go, the signal given this time. Roger Bryan in the 12 and the 05 of Giles, another good battle on the track, but Minjock in 34 is up to third, 87 of Richie Miller into second, and nearly a half lap ahead at this point, the 16 car of Ed Deneen is taking the white flag. Minjock having a fantastic run as he may be closing in on Miller in that battle for second spot. Minjock has come on very strong in recent weeks, and he's close enough to reach out and touch the back bumper of the 5-time winner Richie Miller. Out of turn number 4 with another easy victory, his 10th of the season. Points leader Ed Deneen in car 16 will take the checkered flag. Richie Miller going to win by only a couple car lengths the battle for second over Minjock. And look at that, a near photo finish. For the 4th spot, it's Smithton's Roger Bryan in 12. Ed Deneen, the first driver to get double-digit victories in 2005. Your 10th victory here tonight. You had a tough one last week. This week looked a little bit easier.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I guess I moved up there because of Aaron. He busted up his car back here in the hot laps. And he was going to put it away, and I found out he needed some parts. So I gave him the parts so he could put his car together so he could race. I didn't want to see him not run. So I'm glad he got out and got some points. But we tried our best. We got out there. The car works real well. And I just push it every night as hard as I can possibly push it. I mean, that's what the fans want to see. So I appreciate all fans coming out, and Advanced Auto Parts, I appreciate them. And Peanuts over here, he wants me to build a modified for me and drive a modified next year. So, well, I don't know about that, but I want to thank these guys, my pit crew. I want to thank Gregory over here, and obviously Gary there, and the modified driver, and Sal. And I want to thank all the guys in the division. They've been pretty good. I want to thank whoever the fan club is behind me. No, I want to thank all the fans. I want to thank Advanced Auto Parts and some of my sponsors on there, Lamar Kitchens and Ursa Racing Supplies and Advanced Automotive over here. Yeah, it's been good. I hope you guys get a good race tonight with that 100-lapper. It should be a good night for everybody. We're just glad to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations on a 10th victory this season. The leading winner at Motordrome is Mike Hope. I assure you we're not starting them in numerical order. The 88 is Mike Hope, and the 6 is Al Minjock. 20 laps of racing for the Subway Street Stock Division. Here's the green flag for 20 laps of Subway Street Stock Racing. Napa Auto Parts Ford Thunderbird number 22, veteran driver Robin Rimmel, the former division champion, takes the lead from the 4 of Vince Cater. Behind him, it's Chaos with the 64 of Henry, the 66 of Schlesinger. Nearly 3 wide in the battle for second. Cater holds on to the spot, lap number 1. Max Schlesinger in car 66 has a preliminary heat race victory to his credit this season. He's moved to the inside of the 4 of Vince Cater in the battle for the runner-up spot. Dave Tavermina, the 25, and the 64 of Bill Henry close in chase. Tavermina dives to the inside of Vince Cater's 4 car, drops off the racetrack for just a second. Tavermina does. 2-time feature winner Dave Tavermina and the 4 of Vince Cater battle for 3rd spot. Behind them, Ashton in the 35 and Henry in the 64 are wheel to wheel. Tavermina breaks free with 3rd position. He's the Subway Challenge driver tonight, and he's up to 3rd. Now it's feature winner Bill Ashton and the 4 of Vince Cater behind Tavermina, putting on a battle for the 5th position. Frank Turek, the current points leader, an 8-time winner this season, driving car number 5. As Henry's 64 machine caught on the outside, he continues to lose positions. 4 laps of 20 have been completed. Turek making a move on the 35 of Ashton. That will put the points leader up to 5th, and here comes Sean Phillips right behind him while the inside lane is open. Sean Phillips of Waynesburg in car 31 hasn't finished out of the top 5 in only 4 starts this season. To the outside of him is Henry's 64. Now to the outside of him is 35 of Ashton as Phillips making forward progress. Andrew Kostelnik in the 57 joins that battle. These 4 cars battling for 6th. Meanwhile, in the 5th position, Frank Turek is now bumper to bumper with the 4 of Vince Cater. Turek in car number 5 looking for the inside lane, 2 veteran drivers. Turek, a 2-time champion of the Subway Street Stocks. Door to door in turn 3 and completing the pass in turn 4, Frank Turek is up to 4th. Leader all by himself on Napa Auto Parts night is the Napa Auto Parts sponsored number 22 of Robin Rimmel. Rimmel, with 1 feature victory so far this season. I believe the only Ford in the field is leading the 66 of Max Schlesinger. Schlesinger in the 2nd spot could be his best finish of the season if he can maintain that position. Behind him, Dave Tavermina, the Subway Challenge driver in car 25. The only 2 repeat winners of the season are fighting for the 3rd spot. Tavermina, a 2-time winner. Turek with 8 feature victories in car 5. The fight for 3rd as the top 2 have checked out on the field. Tavermina in 25. If he can win, earns a free 6-inch meatball sub for everybody in the place. Turek trying to maintain his points lead as we are halfway through tonight's Subway Street Stock feature. Vince Cater in the 4 and Sean Phillips in the 31, now door to door for the 5th position. Sean Phillips, as we said, not finished out of the top 5 in 4 starts. If he can move around the outside of Cater's number 4, he will have himself on the scoreboard in 5th. Cater by inches maintains the 5th position as we begin to work lap 11 of 20. Phillips changing lanes now will look to the inside of Cater. Phillips from Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. In car number 31, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Behind him we see the 35 of Ashton, the 57 of Kostelnik, and the 64 of Henry, who started near the front of this field. Jonathan Heilman is the 15 car, also battling for positions further back in the field. We're working lap number 12 of 20. No challenges up front as we see the 35 and the 57 battling for position. Dave Tavermina, the Subway Challenge driver in car 25, and the 5 of Frank Turek still fighting it out for the 3rd spot. Turek, the leading winner in the division and the defending champion, as well as the 1998 champion. Just behind them, the battle of Sean Phillips and Vince Cater rages on. Phillips couldn't make the move on the high side, but does pass Cater to the inside now. Working lap number 14, Phillips in car 31 back into the top 5. He hasn't finished outside the top 5 all season. It's not looking good for you meatball sub fans as we have a turn 4 spin. Not quite. He gathered it back in. I overreacted. Bill Henry did not. He saves the car in the 64 machine. He had to jump on the brakes, but he keeps it going the right direction. Excellent save by Bill Henry that time in turn 4, as we have only 4 laps remaining. In turn number 2 is the leader, Robin Rimmel, beginning to head down the back straight. The Napa Auto Parts Ford Thunderbird number 22 car. His team sponsoring our kids coloring contest that is now underway for several weeks to come. The only Ford-powered automobile in the field, with 3 laps to go, stretching out his lead over Max Schlesinger. Schlesinger in car number 66, well behind the leader, has one heat race win this season, but it will be his top finish of the season if he can hang on to second spot. Behind Schlesinger, the 25 of Dave Tavermina and the 5 of current points leader Frank Turek. Tavermina is from Wilmerding, Pennsylvania, Turek from Mount Pleasant. This time the white flag will be waving with the leader out of turn number 4, Robin Rimmel, carrying the Napa colors proudly on Napa night here at the Speedway. He has one feature win earlier this season. Last year, Rimmel of White, Pennsylvania was second in the point standings with 5 victories. He will be moving into second in the point standings tonight as a result of Jason Holder scratching after the heat race from competition. Out of turn 4, second feature win of the season for the 22 of Robin Rimmel. How about a Napa Auto Parts round of applause for Robin Rimmel? He's out of the car and can hear you. Robin Rimmel, you get yourself a Subway gift certificate for winning that feature. You kept the Subway Challenge driver out of victory lane tonight. To win on your sponsor's night, even for a driver who's won championships and features as long as you've been racing, it's got to feel great to do it on your sponsor's night.
This is the one I've been waiting for. I've been trying for a lot of years to get it on this night and never do it. So this is extra special tonight.
Your earlier feature event this season, you worked really, really hard to get. Tonight you started a little closer to the front, and some of the faster cars couldn't advance tonight. You seem to have things all your way. Was that as easy as it looked?
We just had the car handling great, and they got tied up behind there, that's all. Luck of the draw.
And we've been telling folks all night that you're sponsoring our kids coloring contest, an opportunity for kids to pick up a picture of this Ford Thunderbird and color it in. We'll be announcing those prize winners on August the 19th, so another opportunity for you to do well for the sponsor would be August 19th coming up.
We're going to try it. I hope all the kids out there 12 and under take part in this because there's some fantastic prizes involved.
Now with Jason Holder scratching from competition, you're now probably in the second position in the point standings. Is the championship a thought in your mind now with this second win?
No, it's too early in the year.
Too early for championship racing, but he's doing it the winning way. The driver of the Napa Auto Parts Ford Thunderbird number 22, Robin Rimmel. Car. The 5 is Jim Nicola, 7 Ben Easler, 6 Tom Frank, 94 Al Civic as we're green and racing. Open wheel action safely through turns 1 and 2. Chris Dodds in the 47, losing a spot to the 97 of George P. Nicola and holding up rookie Bob Shipp, it would appear. Jason Bush moves around them. Adam Kostelnik moves around them. Lap 1 is led by Mike Bacalon. Behind Bacalon, it's Rich Nicola in car 51. Then the 32 of Matt Penaya. Matt Smith in car 3, holding down the 4th position. John Prabanich and George P. Nicola, 5th and 6th. Prabanich in the 11 car. Had his best performances of the season in the last 2 weeks. Down the back straight, the 97 of George P. Nicola into turn number 3. Challenging Smith, Matt Penaya gets a little loose in car 32 and holds up that line. Adam Kostelnik, defending champion and points leader, looks to the high side of Jason Bush while Matt Smith looks to the high side of Matt Penaya. Action all over the speedway. Jason Bush, the blue 42 car, to the inside of the back straight. Adam Kostelnik just about ready to clear him for position, but they've caught George P. Nicola and John Prabanich. Action all over the speedway in the Smale Pontiac GMC Modifieds. Close racing, bumper to bumper, the 11 of Prabanich, the 97 of Nicola. At the same time, they're challenging Smith and Penaya. Penaya, the 3rd place car, 32. Matt Smith in 4th in the 3. Incredible action in positions 3 through 8 right now. Door to door, Matt Smith in the 3, Matt Penaya in the 32, both seeking a first feature win this season. And Prabanich gets contact from George P. Nicola out of turn 4 and spins down the front straight. The 11 of John Prabanich, a 2-time heat race winner this season from East McKeesport, Pennsylvania, bringing out the caution flag on lap 5 of 20. Over Rich Nicola, Matt Penaya, Matt Smith. The car in second place, numbered 51, as they've shoehorned a digit 1 in there. That's the backup number 5 car of Jim Nicola, driven for the second time this year by Rich Nicola. He is in second, leading a torrid battle for third, which includes the 32 of Penaya, the 3 of Smith, the 97 of George P. Nicola. Adam Kostelnik, defending track champion, has worked his way up to 6th, knocking on the door of 5th with George P. Nicola in the 97. Meanwhile, a challenge for the lead in his second start of the season. Rich Nicola was able to look to the outside of Mike Bacalon that lap in turn number 3. Kostelnik, meanwhile, has figured out the high side. He's passed George P. Nicola in the 97. He's nerf bar to nerf bar with Matt Smith in the 3. Smith looking to take away second from Penaya. The 32 of Matt Penaya has had his best season of racing to date, but right now he has former feature winners and track champions pouring all over the 32 car. Kostelnik in turn 2, working to the outside. He's door to door with Penaya. The current points leader taking away third position on lap number 8. Up front, the lead battle has intensified once again. Second time starting this car. A backup car to Jim Nicola. This is street stock ace Rich Nicola in car 51. And we have a caution flag spinning in turn 3 in front of the field. Tom Frank in car 6, the Ohio driver, spinning in turn 3. With 11 laps remaining, Mike Bacalon, Rich Nicola, Adam Kostelnik, and George P. Nicola gets a great start moving around Matt Smith in turn 4 before they reach the scoring line. Bumper tag among the leaders. Rich Nicola able to reach out and touch leader Mike Bacalon, with Adam Kostelnik joining it. It's a 3-car battle for the lead. Halfway through the Smale Pontiac GMC modified feature. Kostelnik moving to the outside, taking away the runner-up spot from Rich Nicola. Mike Bacalon won the long distance event, the Smale 25, the biggest event of the season for the modifieds. He hangs on to his lead over defending champion Adam Kostelnik. Down the back straight, Bacalon and Kostelnik. Wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Kostelnik this season with 5 feature victories. The Viglione Racing number 60 machine, now second only by inches at the scoring line on lap 12. Nicola joins the fight again as the battling leaders have allowed him to close back up in third position. Kostelnik by half a car length into turn 3 this time. Bacalon keeps the inside lane. Out of turn number 4. New leader is Adam Kostelnik in car 60. Lap number 13, and last week's winner has taken over the point position. Bacalon now second, Rich Nicola third. All by himself, Matt Smith is 4th in car 3. And then some more battling for top 5 positions. Matt Penaya and George P. Nicola in the 97 takes the spot away. Bob Shipp moving to the outside of Penaya. 32 car falling off the pace and losing positions is Penaya. George P. Nicola, the 97, now into 5th. Bob Shipp into 6th. Action settles down just a bit. Battle now developing for second position, which was once the lead battle before Adam Kostelnik took away the point position. It's Bacalon and Rich Nicola, about 2 or 3 car lengths apart, headed into turn number 3. 4 laps remaining in this feature event. Matt Smith has closed up to join it. Could be a 3-car battle for second. Nicola fading from Bacalon. It's now a fight for third with Matt Smith playing bumper tag with the 51 of Rich Nicola. Matt Smith, veteran competitor from New Eagle, Pennsylvania, always in yellow race cars, always number 3, always nicknamed the Nuclear Banana for the driver with many feature wins here at the Speedway. Challenging Rich Nicola for the 3rd spot now. Action settling down in the Smale Pontiac GMC Modified Division. Leader Adam Kostelnik in car 60 entering turn number 3. The white flag will be waving over the Viglione Racing entry this time. Final lap for the current points leader and defending champion. Down the back straight, a division-leading feature win total of 5 is about to be extended. Adam Kostelnik, days before his birthday, is a feature winner at Motordrome. A celebratory burnout on the front straight for the defending champion. Winning driver will be joined here in victory lane by the Crickets, joining us from Cricket Mobile Service. He's out of the car and can hear you, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Kostelnik. As we're here in victory lane, choking on tire smoke from a burnout, Adam Kostelnik, I understand that there's some bad luck that's haunted you on your birthday weekend in years past. Is that true?
Yeah, I've never seemed to be able to put it together, but tonight, man, it was just a night. It's Des Lazater, that's Buzzy's daughter, Chris's wife. It's her birthday, so this is her birthday present. But I told Harry if I win, I'm doing a big donut, and that's what he got.
He came over and checked out the tire wear. That might have been an expensive celebration, but worth it as you started deep in this field.
Them tires were wore out. We knew that. And that's what I said. After the night, they're gone anyway, so we're going to do the burnout.
So even on worn tires, you passed, what, 11, 12 cars to come up to the front tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I want to say one thing. Mike Backlund's been like a mentor. He got me started. We had that makeup race. I couldn't pass him on the outside. Well, you know what it feels like to beat the teacher on the outside. Mike's a hell of a racer, but, man, that feels good to beat him on the outside.
He has nothing but the highest regard for you. He's told us that in his 2 victory lane ceremonies. How about a chance to thank all your sponsors for another big win?
I got to thank Buzzy and Donna Viglione. They own the car. Harry Lazater, awesome engine builder, crew chief. Chris Lazater, Des, Carol, Ruth, Joe, just everybody. Lazater Auto Service, Bowling Machine, Stan's Transmissions. Thank my girlfriend Chantel because she's making a throat noise in the back here. But hell of a night, man. Thank the fans for coming out.
He's going to celebrate his birthday on Monday in winning style. Defending champion Adam Kostelnik. You the starting field for the 2005 Napa Auto Parts 100. The drivers who will be competing in the Crown Jewel event and the NASCAR late model schedule for 2005. Starting last in this event tonight, the driver who comes to us from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. A young racer with a rich family tradition in motorsports, driving the Fox car number 8. This is Jason Lasky. Starting inside the last row, no stranger to fans at Motordrome Speedway. Many times a competitor in the truck division here, the street stock division. The driver who comes to us from West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, in the J. Steiner Heating and Cooling, T&M Repair, Butch Albright Transmissions, number 0, Dink Colarusso. Next row up, we find the 2-time and defending Motordrome Speedway champion. He's the dominant feature winner this season, driving the Brooks Automotive Group, Valvoline, Bellevue Chassis Pontiac Grand Prix, the Dunbar Dominator from Dunbar, Pennsylvania, Rick Miller. Inside of Miller, the defending winner of the Napa 100 from Connellsville, Pennsylvania. He drives the lint flooring Megan Ford Stone and Company number 11 with more than 100 feature victories. This is Bobby Henry. Next up, the driver from Brewston Mills, West Virginia, who's a two-time former MOTORDROME Speedway champion and former NASCAR Northeast champion, driving the Howard Concrete Pumping, Martinelli's Auto, Tom Clark Chevrolet number 22, Richard Mitchell. Inside, the driver fifth in the point standing, seeking a career-first victory. In the Advance Auto Parts Dare Chevrolet Monte Carlo number 51 from Clarksburg, West Virginia, Mr. Consistency, John Messenger. Next up in the silver car, number 86. The driver from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, former Pro Truck champion, making his second start of 2005. This is Greg Kelly. Inside Kelly, the driver from North Huntington, Pennsylvania, sophomore racer in the late model division, driving the Man's Home Medical Products. Pride Mobility number 15 Ford Taurus, Brandon Manns. Making his first start of 2005 here at the MOTORDROME Speedway, a regular competitor in the late model division at the Jennerstown Speedway, driving the Principal Ford Taurus number 17. We understand a driver change from the registered car number 17. It is MOTORDROME Speedway Kerry Tadero behind the wheel of car number 17. And starting right to the inside of him, another driver making his first MOTORDROME start of 2005. He comes to us all the way from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania. Driver of the PI&I Trucking Colonial Metal Products number 9. This is Will Thomas. Starting sixth, the veteran of the street stock competition, a winning driver in that class at MOTORDROME Speedway, now a third-year late model competitor, driving the Blue Flame Restaurant, B&J Plumbing and Home Remodeling, Allegheny Insurance number 43 from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, Mike Adams. Next up, driving the Beckwith Material Handling Toyota Lift Trucks Ford Taurus number 1, former Pro Truck competitor from Greensburg, Pennsylvania, this is Steve Black. Starting in the fourth position, a rookie driver this season, coming to us from the Legacy Division of Race Cars, making his fourth start of 2005 at the MOTORDROME Speedway, the driver of car number 18 is Chad Hemphill. Starting from the third position, from Somerset, Pennsylvania, the 2002 MOTORDROME Speedway Track Champion, driving the Lint Flooring Stone and Company Megan Ford number 60, Gary Wiltrout. And the front row starters for the Napa 100. Outside of row number 1, the dirt track ace and pavement rookie from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the Hayes Heating and Cooling Snyder Exxon HK Equipment Company Chevrolet number 12, Tony Mussolino. And starting from the pole, a veteran of several divisions of competition at the MOTORDROME Speedway, driving the Rolling Rock Chevrolet, Greensburg, Pennsylvania veteran John Komarinsky. That is the starting field for tonight's Napa Auto Parts 100, the crown jewel event at MOTORDROME Speedway. We're going to do a countdown from 5, and we ask that every one of you fans in attendance tonight join in uttering the most famous words in motorsports. We'll say, gentlemen, start your engines after the countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engines. Napa Auto Parts Stores about to present the Napa 100 at the MOTORDROME Speedway, the crown jewel event of the season for the Napa NASCAR Super Late Model Division. This is the crown jewel event of 2005. Everybody on your feet and wave to the drivers as they come past the front straightaway. We will be going green flag racing in just a lap. The drivers can't hear you, but they can see you. Wave them on as the 100 lap Napa Auto Parts Crown Jewel event is about to take shape. Mussolino, row number 1. Gary Wiltrout and Chad Hemphill, row number 2. Steve Black in car number 1 and Mike Adams in 43, row number 3. The driver change in the 17. Finding the green flag waving and 2 wide for the lead at the drop of the green flag. John Komarinsky inside Tony Mussolino. The rookie and the veteran battling for the top spot. The earliest stage of the Napa 100. At the scoring line for lap number 1, Mussolino, the early leader by inches. The Pittsburgh rookie in car number 12, Tony Mussolino, a dirt track ace on Saturday nights, door to door with John Komarinsky, who has raced thousands of laps around this speedway in many years of racing. Here comes Gary Wiltrout to the inside. Leader of lap number 2, the 60 of Gary Wiltrout, the former track champion, has the Benz Motorsports lint flooring number 60 out in front. Komarinsky falls back to second. Tony Mussolino in third. Mike Adams now in fourth over rookie Chad Hemphill. Gary Wiltrout, John Komarinsky, Tony Mussolino, the top 3 drivers. Mike Adams in 4th, and a battle for 5th position. The battle for 5th, 2 drivers making their first start. Will Thomas in the 9. Hemphill in the 18, now falling back into 6th. Behind Hemphill's 18 car, door-to-door racing, finding Brandon Manns and Steve Black. Manns in car number 15 and Black in car number 1. Black nearly made contact with the outside wall that time, allows Manns to complete the pass. And here comes Richard Mitchell, 5-time winner this season in car 22. Mitchell looking to the inside of Manns with Rick Miller, the defending champion, right on his back bumper. The 2 leading winners of 2005, Richard Mitchell in 22 and Rick Miller in 25, are challenging Brandon Manns in 15. This battle for about the 8th position on the speedway right now. Chad Hemphill, the silver machine for the rookie driver. Mitchell now changes from the inside lane to the outside lane and challenging Hemphill. Miller coming along with him, 2 drivers who started deep in this field tonight. Mitchell and Miller on the move early, both passing Brandon Manns, now Chad Hemphill. Gary Wiltrout is out in front all by himself on lap number 8. John Komarinsky in the 33 is second. Tony Mussolino in the 3rd spot. Then Mike Adams. And the 9 car of Will Thomas, making his first start of the season, is challenging Motordrome veteran Mike Adams. Surprising that the driver from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania in car number 9, first time he's been here this season, pulling up to the back bumper of Adams, who's here with us competing nearly every week. Adams, a winning street stock driver in his days in the Subway street stocks, has closed the gap on rookie Tony Mussolino. It's now 3 cars in line, all of whom have an opportunity for second. Chad Hemphill has an off-track excursion, but we're still green flag racing. The battle has intensified for 3rd spot. Mike Adams to the inside, Tony Mussolino to the outside, Richard Mitchell watching that battle for 3rd. Mitchell scored in 5th now with 11 laps completed. He passes Mussolino and is instantly challenging the 43 of Adams, with Rick Miller coming along past the rookie. We're watching the 9 of Thomas as he fades back a couple of spots behind Mussolino, as these 2 drivers have allowed former champions Richard Mitchell and Rick Miller to get by. Mike Adams, the next car in front of the 9 machine. Then it's Miller and Mitchell who have been on the move from the rear of this field. John Komarinsky is the driver in second. Komarinsky in just a lap or two may be feeling pressure from the two biggest winners of the season in the form of Mitchell and Miller. Mitchell, the winner of this event in 2003 in car 22, closing in on John Komarinsky. Komarinsky has led laps in feature racing recently, but has yet to see a career first checkered flag in the late model division. Mitchell takes the spot away. Rick Miller will follow suit to the inside of the 33. Komarinsky losing 2 positions on lap 15. Gary Wiltrout remains the leader. Top 3 drivers on the Speedway, all former champions of the Speedway. 2002 NASCAR late model champion Gary Wiltrout leads. In second, a 2-time champion Richard Mitchell. In third, the 2-time and defending champion Rick Miller. Then Komarinsky in fourth. Working lap number 18 of the Napa 100, leader Gary Wiltrout in the 60 car, approaching his first lapped traffic. The 0 is driven by Dink Colarusso. Colarusso in the 0 car allows the leader to pass. We are working lap 19 and lap traffic already a factor. The next car in the leader's sights will be Chad Hemphill, who had an off-track excursion a few laps ago, sending him back to the tail of this field. Wiltrout in his first year driving for Benz Motorsports with sponsorship from Lint Flooring, Stone & Company, and Megan Ford. A Chevrolet Monte Carlo sponsored by a Ford dealership leading this event over Richard Mitchell in second. Rick Miller is third. All 3 of these drivers former track champions. Then we see car number 9, Will Thomas in his first start at Motordrome, and then John Komarinsky in the 33. Thomas has advanced with great haste in this event. Making his very first start of the season, he has passed veterans Mike Adams and John Komarinsky to find himself fourth on lap 22. The car built by legendary car builder Junior Hanley, the Canadian legend, and Thomas from Sharpsville doing a great job in his first start of the year. Then it's back to the 33 of John Komarinsky, and then a battle between Mike Adams and Brandon Manns. This is the battle for 6th. Manns, the Pride Mobility Products Ford, to the inside of Adams' 43 car. Brandon Manns, a very successful pro truck racer and a late model rookie last season. Door-to-door racing out of 4. Behind this battle, Bobby Henry, the defending race winner, is making his way to the front, moving around John Messenger. Manns has completed the pass of Adams for 6th, and here comes Bobby Henry right along with him. Henry to the inside of Adams. The 11 car takes away the position, and here comes John Messenger. Adams caught in the high lane, losing 3 positions within a couple of laps to Manns, Henry, and Messenger. Messenger, like Adams, seeks a career first victory in car number 51. Clearing the 0 of Dink Colarusso, the defending race winner Bobby Henry of Connellsville in car number 11. And Colarusso's 0 machine may play into the battle as they go 3 wide in turn 3. Messenger thinks better of diving to the bottom. He backs off and lets Adams have the position as excitement is happening around the lapped car of Dink Colarusso. John Messenger, Mr. Consistency, wisely backing out of a 3 wide situation. Tony Mussolino now in car 12 will clear the lap machine as well. We're working lap 28 of the Napa 100. Gary Wiltrout continues to lead, and he is on the back straight headed to turn 3. Current running order finds John Komarinsky in 5th. The 9 machine of Thomas in 4th. 3rd place car of Rick Miller on the back straightaway, the 25 machine. Miller, the two-time defending track champion, third after winning last week's 35-lapper. In front of him, Richard Mitchell in car 22, a five-time winner this season. Then a half straightaway advantage in front of Mitchell is the 2002 champion Gary Wiltrout from Somerset in car 60. Wiltrout has cleared the Kerry Tadero machine with that driver change coming to us at the last minute. Tadero goes a lap down to the leader in the Benz Motorsports 60, Gary Wiltrout. Wiltrout now moving to the outside of Greg Kelly's 86 machine, still with a healthy lead over Richard Mitchell and Rick Miller. Action happening in turn 4. Headed down to the front straight now. Bobby Henry in car number 11 into turn number 1 has passed Brandon Manns and John Komarinsky. He's almost in the grass to put a lap on the Lasky machine. Bobby Henry, last year's winner of the event, taking over the 5th position now. The Megan Ford moving up from the rear. Brandon Manns in 15, now 6th. Komarinsky in 33 is 7th. John Messenger in car 51 has had his best races of late. 2 consecutive weeks he has led laps in the middle stages of the feature events. We are now on lap 35, which would conclude an ordinary feature event at MOTORDROME Speedway. Wiltrout, Mitchell, Miller still the top 3 with space between each and every one of them. No challenges up front yet. Komarinsky in the 33 car, riding in the 7th spot. Just in front of him, Brandon Manns in 6th in car 15. Manns, who competed in the 100-lapper last season as a teammate to champion Rick Miller in the Bellevue Chassis second team effort last year. His entire family-owned operation has moved from truck racing to late model racing. They are a rookie team with a sophomore driver in Brandon Manns with the 15 car, currently 6th on the speedway. 1 position in front, Bobby Henry, the defending race winner, is 5th. Henry has almost a half straightaway to make up if he wants to put a pass on the 9 of Will Thomas. Thomas making his first Motordrome start from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania in car 9, doing an outstanding job here on lap number 38, maintaining the 4th position. Leader into turn number 1, Gary Wiltrout, has no lapped cars between himself and Richard Mitchell now. The interval about a half straightaway. Mitchell and Miller have been gaining on the leader, but that was in lap traffic. Now in open racetrack, we'll see what leader Wiltrout can do with the 60 car and watch the interval between himself and second place 22 Richard Mitchell. Second place driver on the speedway with experience in the NASCAR Busch Series and several seasons racing on the ARCA Super Speedway Tour. Mitchell, no stranger to long distance events in the Howard Concrete Pumping 22. He won this event in 2003 on the heels of 2 Motordrome Speedway championships and the NASCAR Northeast title. On lap 41, he is 2nd, and behind him, Rick Miller in car 25. Miller, a veteran of the ASA Series, where he raced in the nationally televised late model tour from coast to coast. He's a former Clearfield Speedway champion and 2-time and defending Motordrome Speedway champ as the Lasky number 8 machine falls off the pace. Chad Hemphill has retired to the pit area, the first casualty of this event in car number 18. It is lap 44. Hemphill's Coors Light machine parked at the trailer with a mechanical failure. Bobby Henry in car number 11 putting a lap on the Steve Black number 1 car. Henry, the 5th place machine on the racetrack. As we are now in the middle stages of the Napa 100, Henry with heavy lap traffic in front of him, and as well the 9 of Will Thomas. Henry is definitely gaining on Thomas as Kerry Tadero's 17 car to the outside and Dink Colaruso's 0 car to the inside have held up Thomas in 4th spot. Thomas cannot find an opening through the lap traffic. At nearing the midpoint of the event, Bobby Henry, last year's race winner, 5th and challenging for 4th on the front straight. Lapped cars to the outside, position cars to the inside. The 9 of Thomas is 4th. The 11 of Henry is 5th. They have both cleared the Dink Colaruso 0 machine into turn number 3. Bobby Henry gaining quickly on the number 9 car of Will Thomas. Thomas competes at the Lake Erie Speedway on a semi-regular basis, making his first Motordrome start of the season in car 9. Down the back straight and free of lap traffic, no one in front, no one behind. 2 cars battling for the 4th position, Bobby Henry and the 9 of Will Thomas. Henry very close to the rear bumper of that machine, but conservative racing as we are not yet to the midpoint, working lap 48. These drivers half a lap behind the leader. Down the back straight, Gary Wiltrout, who has led this race from the drop of the green, is putting a lap on Mike Adams in the 43 car. And Wiltrout seeing the crossed flags indicating halfway through the 2005 Napa 100. Wiltrout in the 60, leading. The interval has diminished. The next machine on the racetrack is Mike Adams' 43, but it is the 22 of Richard Mitchell who has closed in. When Mitchell moves around the lapped 43 of Adams, he will have clear racetrack between himself and Wiltrout. Let's call it a 10-15 car length advantage for Wiltrout, but that has diminished from nearly an entire straightaway of lead margin for Gary Wiltrout. Richard Mitchell of Brewston Mills, West Virginia in the 2nd spot. Leader Gary Wiltrout from Somerset, Pennsylvania. Wiltrout approaching heavy lap traffic now. John Komarinsky in the 33 and Dink Colaruso in the 0. 2 wide in front of the leader with Mitchell closing down for a top spot battle. Dink Colaruso the 0 to the outside. John Komarinsky the 33 to the inside. Wiltrout noticeably on the brakes, then 3 wide into turn 3 through the lap cars. Saw the nose of the 60 machine dive to the pavement, indicating a foot on the brakes as he is trying to weave through lap traffic. He works his way around the Lasky number 8 and will again be closing on Kerry Tadero's 17 car. The 3 wide maneuver has extended his lead over Mitchell. Working lap 55, Wiltrout continues to lead as the lap traffic looking a bit lighter in front of him at this point. Mitchell hangs on to 2nd, Rick Miller still in 3rd. Back to the 4th place now. Bobby Henry has secured that position as he exits turn number 2 down the back straight. Bobby Henry has taken the spot away from Will Thomas. Thomas in the 9 car. And the 15 of Brandon Manns in turns number 3 and 4, now down the front straight. Manns in 15 is 6th. Messenger in 51 is 7th. On lap number 57, watching 2 drivers who have been very close to a career first win. Brandon Manns in the 15, John Messenger in the 51. Manns 4th in the current championship standings, Messenger 5th in the current championship standings, racing 6th and 7th on the racetrack at this time. Just behind them, leader Gary Wiltrout is approaching. Wiltrout in the 60, lapping cars inside of the top 10 now on lap 59. He has clear racetrack in front and clear racetrack behind him to a closing Richard Mitchell. Mitchell is now definitely marching in on the leader Wiltrout. Wiltrout in 60 in turn 4 and Mitchell in the blue 22 machine headed down the front straight. Lead battle will be developing as we have a caution flag for Messenger spinning in front of the leaders. John Messenger in turns 1 and 2 spins car number 51 from a top 10 position. Stop. The Pittsburgh rookie in for a tire change. Going to work on the Brooks Automotive Group Pontiac. Leading feature winner this season, and Brandon Manns in for a stop just in front of him. 59 laps are completed and new rubber for top running race cars. Rick Miller diving out of the third position for a change of right side tires. Brandon Manns also retiring from a top 10 position for this pit stop. Miller's team just about completing work behind the Manns car. And they are looking under the hood of the 25 car. More serious problem for defending champion Rick Miller. Miller clearly a favorite to win tonight's Napa 100 with 6 feature wins this season. The crew quickly under the hood after new tires. 25 machine, I believe, has stalled on pit road. A push and the car is back underway. The defending champion rolls back to life and will tag the tail of this field for a restart on lap 59. Green flag about to wave on lap 59 of the Napa 100. Heavy hitters up front, Gary Wiltrout, Richard Mitchell, Bobby Henry. Rick Miller, back to life with fresh tires, moves to the outside of John Messenger. Messenger in the 51, the West Virginia driver, currently in 5th, and how about Will Thomas in 4th? Driver from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania in his first Motordrome start. He's door to door with the defending champion. Miller taking away the 4th position. In front of Miller in 3rd, Bobby Henry in car 11, last year's winner. And now we turn our attention to the lead battle, Gary Wiltrout and Richard Mitchell. In lap traffic, Mitchell was closing the gap on race-long leader Gary Wiltrout. Working lap number 61. Lapped cars will not be a factor for several circuits of the Speedway, and Mitchell in car 22 closing up to the rear bumper of Gary Wiltrout. Down the back straight, Gary Wiltrout and Richard Mitchell, former Motordrome champions. Behind them, 3rd place is changing hands. Bobby Henry in car 11 worked his way from the rear of the field. He had not been passed by a car all night, but the rejuvenated Rick Miller on fresh right side tires storms past him for 3rd. Miller has never won the Napa 100 in car number 25. In front of him, the 2003 winner of the race, Richard Mitchell, and the 2002 track champion, Gary Wiltrout. Less than a car length separating the leaders. Down the back straight, Wiltrout separates by 3, maybe 4 car lengths into turn number 1. At the scoring line, we begin to work lap 65. Top 3 cars now all racing together on the Speedway. Miller in 3rd, Mitchell in 2nd, and race-long leader Gary Wiltrout. Drivers telling us in pre-race interviews, saving the tires and conservative driving would be the marks of success in the first segment of this race. We're now well past the halfway mark, and 3 of the Speedway's top guns are out in front. Jason Lasky's number 8 car about to go a lap down to the top 3. Wiltrout has 1 feature victory this season. Mitchell has 5 and Miller has 6. The only other driver to find victory lane this season is Bobby Henry. He is 4th on the racetrack and has 4 victories. Our attention turns back to the top 3. Rick Miller in the 25 with the freshest tires of anybody in the top 5 right now. He is 3rd, and Mitchell and Wiltrout seem to be stretching out by maybe a car length their advantage over the defending champion. Mitchell with Wiltrout well in his sights. At the scoring line this time at the flag stand on the front straight, lap number 70. 30 to go in the 2005 Napa Auto Parts 100. Our friends and guests from Napa Auto Parts with us here at the Speedway, reminding you to visit your nearest Napa retailer to get the good stuff. And the good stuff is coming your way in the form of racing action and a lead battle with Gary Wiltrout, Richard Mitchell, and Rick Miller. Only 1 lapped car looming several car lengths in front of Wiltrout. It's the 0 of Dink Colarusso. We'll see if he plays into this battle as the leaders are quickly gaining on the ill-handling 0 car. Mitchell in the 22, closing up just slightly as Will Trout has to change lanes in the corner for Colaruso's 0. Onto the backstretch again. Lead interval holding at about 3 car lengths for Gary Will Trout. Will Trout, a former Jennerstown Speedway champion, former Motordrome Speedway champion, now a hired gun driving for Benz Motorsports in the Lint Flooring and Tile number 60. Mitchell, who drove the Benz Motorsports 60 in 2004, is pursuing the team for which he drove last season without a victory. Mitchell returns to a family-owned operation in car 22 and is now very close to the leader. Less than a car length separated the leaders out of turn 2, down the back straight and into turn number 3. Will Trout in the 60, Mitchell in the 22. We are working lap 75, only 25 laps remaining. Approaching the point in this race where the drivers will need to show their hand, balancing the idea of aggressive driving and saving the car for the end of the race. These drivers are approaching lap traffic, and Will Trout's car slid just a bit in turn 4. Could that be a sign of worn tires on car number 60? Will Trout just a bit loose out of turn number 4 on that last lap. Mitchell has now faded by 2 or 3 car lengths as they moved around the lap machine of Jason Lasky. Rick Miller still in tow with this battle in car 25. The 9 of Thomas hanging on to a top 5 spot. Brandon Manns in 6th. Manns, like Miller, made a pit stop for fresh tires, but has not been able to overtake the 9 of Thomas in his first start of the season. Behind them, Messenger, who's fallen back a couple of spots in the 51 since we went back to green flag racing. That spin probably took a toll on his tires as we are working lap number 79. Leaders on the back straight. Will Trout will be facing lap traffic into turn number 3 this time. The driver of car number 60 in tow behind Steve Black in the 1. Again, we see the back end of the 60 car drifting loose out of turn number 4. If that condition continues, heating up the tires and possibly burning off the rubber could affect the lead and the win in the Napa 100. 20 laps remaining. Will Trout to the outside of Greg Kelly's lapped car. Mitchell clears the car in turn number 1. 2 or 3 car length advantage now for leader Will Trout, who has been out front since the drop of the green in the Napa 100. Once again, we'll watch in turn 4 to see if that car appears to have a loose condition. He may have gone a little slower through 4 that time as Mitchell is right on his back bumper. Battle for the lead develops out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. The Napa 100 and the victory in the most prestigious event of the year. Separation now less than a car length out of turn 4. Will Trout working lap 83. Richard Mitchell in 2nd. Mitchell with long distance racing experience as a national touring racer in the ARCA series. Will Trout, a track champion of both Motordrome and Jennerstown in recent seasons. First year driving for Benz Motorsports. Mitchell chasing his ride from 2004 for the win tonight. Working lap 84. Mitchell has been trying the higher groove of the speedway in turns 1 and 2, but comfortable to tuck in right in line with Will Trout on the low side of 3 and 4. Miller still in the frame in the 3rd position in car 25. That time out of turn 2, Will Trout gained a few car lengths in his battle for the win with Mitchell. Last season, Richard Mitchell came into the Napa 100 as the defending winner of the event from 2003, driving the car that is keeping him in 2nd place. Will Trout this season aboard the Benz Motorsports 60 has led every lap. We're about to begin to work lap 87. Will Trout has made it look easy except for a couple of times in turn 4 when the car seemed to handle a little loose. Does not seem to have affected his tires. as he is still able to drive away from Mitchell by 3 or 4 car lengths. Turn 4 is the only area that Mitchell is able to gain ground at this point of the race. Mike Adams in car 43, the next lap machine that will force the cars one lane up in turn number 2 and down the back straight. Mitchell using a higher lane of the speedway through turn 4 this time did not pay off for him. Several car lengths back. Rick Miller in car 25 clears the Adams 43 machine. Miller, despite the pit stop for fresh tires, not able to reel in the top 2 for a challenge yet. It is lap 90, 10 to go in the Napa 100 for 2005. Gary Wiltrout continues to lead Richard Mitchell. Last season, when Bobby Henry won the Napa 100, it was his first victory of the season. This year, Wiltrout has managed only 1 victory despite running near the front each and every week. Behind him, a 5-time winner in Mitchell and a 6-time winner in Miller. Mitchell closing just a bit that time out of turn number 4, working lap number 92. The next lapped car to be encountered will be Tony Mussolino in car number 12. About 10 or 12 car lengths until that car is reached by the leaders. Mitchell diving to the inside out of 4. The first serious challenge for the lead occurs as we begin to work lap 93. Mussolino moves to the outside of the leaders. He will not impact the battle. Howard Concrete Pumping, Tom Clark Chevrolet 22 of Richard Mitchell. Closing in, the 2003 winner of the Napa 100, pulling up to the back bumper of Gary Wiltrout. Less than a car length separation on lap 94 into turns 1 and 2. Wiltrout has had things his way from the drop of the green flag. Mitchell now within striking distance. 2 veteran drivers and former Motordrome champions. Moving around Kerry Tadero, driving the lap 17 car. 5 laps remaining in turn number 1. Mitchell and Wiltrout, very close racing on the speedway. Miller about 8 or 10 car lengths back in third as the leaders approach the lap machine of John Komarinsky. Komarinsky to the inside on the front straight, allows the leaders to pass. Even Mitchell clears him before turn 1. Mitchell looking to the bottom and makes contact with Wiltrout. Mitchell backs off and allows Wiltrout to gather up the race car. Mitchell slides back to third spot. Rick Miller, the defending champion, had a fender advantage on him. Mitchell takes over the second position again, but Wiltrout now with his biggest lead in several laps. There are only 3 to go. The contact in the battle for the lead may have been just what Gary Wiltrout needed, oddly enough, as he saves car number 60. Mitchell tried everything, including a contact with the rear bumper. Dink Colaruso's Zero machine forces leader Wiltrout to the outside. 2 laps remaining, and the excitement may be over if Mitchell cannot close in once again. An incredible save after contact in the battle for the win for Gary Wiltrout. On the final lap, the Lint Flooring, Stone & Company, Megan Ford number 60. The Benz Motorsports entry driven by Gary Wiltrout of Somerset, Pennsylvania. He backs up his 2002 Motordrome Speedway Track Championship with a win in the Napa 100 in 2005. In victory lane, the Benz Motorsports car number 60. Thank you. Former track champion makes his way to victory lane tonight. The back window of this race car says for sale. I don't think there's any greater sales pitch than driving to victory in the biggest event of the season. The steering wheel is off, and in just a moment we will greet the Somerset, Pennsylvania driver with a round of applause. He's out of the car and can hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Wiltrout. Come on over here, Gary. On a hot, humid summer night, one of the biggest wins of your career as a hired gun for Benz Motorsports this season. You told us once earlier that you weren't really sure in the winter if you were even going to be competing here at MOTORDROME Speedway on Fridays. Then an opportunity thanks to Lint Flooring, Stone & Company, and the Benz Motorsports team, and here you are.
I got to thank all the guys. I mean, we've been struggling all year, and I tell you what, they sure put it together tonight. It's not from not trying. I mean, these guys try every week, but I think they put it together tonight.
A streak of bad luck for you with DNFs and caution flag incidents and pit stops during the feature. When you go through a 3 or 4 week period of bad luck like that, do you think sometimes that it's never going to turn around for you? You've always been fast, but haven't found victory lane for so many weeks.
Well, it's not from not trying. I mean, we've had a fast car in hot laps and heat race, I mean, pretty much every week, but it seems when feature time comes, we always mess ourselves up.
Tonight with 100 laps of racing, was this car set up differently than a typical 35-lap feature for you?
Not really. We like I said, we've been struggling, and we lucked onto something here tonight, and I think we'll hopefully give these guys a run the rest of the year.
Now let's talk about the conclusion of that race. All the excitement comes to a head with about 4 laps to go. Richard Mitchell closes, then makes contact. Tell us about that battle.
Hey, that's just hard short track racing. I mean, you know, I'd have done the same to Rich. I mean, you know, I was blocking a little bit there. I just, 5 laps ago, I mean, he did what he had to do.
It looked late in the race like maybe the back end was loosening up just a bit coming out of turn 4. We saw the back end wiggle just a bit. Was the handling just the way you'd expect it to be at the end of a 100-lap grind?
Well, I really didn't want it that loose, especially with Rich and Rick and Bobby and them back there. I wanted the car pretty much perfect the way it was. So we ended up with the win. That's all that matters.
And now a chance to thank your sponsors and crew.
Like I said, I definitely want to thank the benches. I mean, without these guys, they bust their butts every week, and my guys, I definitely want to thank Larry Lint Flooring. I mean, without all their sponsors, we couldn't be here. Stone & Company, Megan Ford, RGE Wireless, just anybody that has anything to do with my race cars. I want to thank them.
He held off 2 of the best for the winner in the Crown Jewel event. The Napa Auto Parts 100 belongs to Gary Wiltrout. The 9 of Rick Broadwater won his career first earlier this season, and 3-time feature winner Jimmy Stokes in car 95 on the outside of row number 1. 13 car is driven by one of the Keller family, all in competition tonight. Denny Keller drives 13. That's the 04 of Brian Shipp from Jefferson Hills. The 88, Harold Hunt from Hunker in the big brown car, starting 5th. 6th starter is car number 51, Clifford Abbott from Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. Then the 11 car driven by Victor Keller. Then the 1 car driven by Tracy Keller. Keller second in the point standings to the 50 of Jeff Giles. And we see the 21 of Gary Ankrum. Green flag is waving. Yellow Book Charger Division feature underway. Jimmy Stokes in the 95, 3-time feature winner, said he set a goal of 5 wins this season. He got his career first. As we see a spin, the former Rick Broadwater number 9 car, the 91 going around, first-time driver with us. '91 machine of Robbie Hott, the spinning car earlier. Jimmy Stokes is your leader now, working lap number 2 over Rick Broadwater. Stokes, we mentioned, has that goal of 5 wins this season. He got his career first and followed that up with 2 more. Behind him, the 9 of Rick Broadwater from Level Green, Pennsylvania. His former race car we just saw spin while in the hands of Robbie Knott. This is the current number 9 of Broadwater, which went to victory a few weeks ago. Here comes Jeff Giles in the 50, challenging Denny Keller. The points leader and 9-time feature winner, Jeff Giles, makes a move to the inside. He takes away 3rd position from Keller in the 13. 4 laps of 15 completed. Keller family battle now with the 11 of Victor Keller, the 13 of Denny Keller. In front of this battle, we see a position duel for the runner-up spot. Broadwater in 9 and Giles in 50. When Broadwater got his feature win, he beat Giles by about 2 inches. Giles now beats Broadwater by about 2 car lengths in the battle for second on lap number 5 of 15. The 91 machine, the former Broadwater car, being passed by its previous owner of Rick Broadwater. Both of Broadwater's cars now the same area of the speedway, and behind them, the Keller family battle has finally settled down. It's the 11 machine of Victor Keller, who pried a position away from the 13 of Denny Keller. Behind them, the 1 is Tracy Keller. Every black machine on the racetrack is driven by a member of the Keller family from Mount Pleasant. We're working lap number 7 now. Leader Jimmy Stokes is on his way out of turn number 4. The 95 car driver from West Newton, Pennsylvania. He has 4 heat race wins to go with those 3 feature victories on the season. Behind him, Jeff Giles, the 50 car of points leader and dominant driver this season with 9 feature wins and 8 heat race victories. Jimmy Stokes out in front, Jeff Giles in second, Rick Broadwater in third. Jimmy Stokes with 3 wins on the season, outdistancing the leading feature winner. The Keller family battle is heating up again. Tracy Keller in the 1 has moved around the 13 of Denny Keller, but Denny has dropped a wheel or 2 off the racetrack on more than 1 occasion in this feature, and now he loses the handle just a bit with some taps from the 04 of Brian Shipp. Shipp's brother Bob, the defending champion of the division, who's now a modified racer, and Keller again dropping the left side wheels off the pavement, racing through the grass in car 13. The 04 of Shipp now clearly to the inside. This battle for about the 6th position on the racetrack. 6th taken over by Shipp, now dropping Denny Keller back into 7th. 12 of 15 laps completed. Leader Jimmy Stokes is not leading by as much now. He's headed into turn number 1, and he's got maybe 15, 12 car lengths over Jeff Giles. Leader Stokes headed down the back straight. Giles is very quickly closing, but is probably going to run out of laps before he can mount a serious challenge. Stokes has to move to the outside of the Robbie Hott machine, which is now a lap down. White flag is in the air, and we see Giles closing, but he's not going to have enough time to make a serious challenge. Jimmy Stokes, although... Well, you can do that tonight as a 4-time feature winner. Congratulations to West Newton's Jimmy Stokes and the Yellow Book Chargers.